Hey everyone, I'm Meg and welcome to the Loven Stamp Studio for dun, 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 Christmas in July. It's today, July 25th. So I'm actually not live. The video is revealing live because, hey, it's Christmas and everybody needs something fun on Christmas morning, right? But I am in New Mexico with my daughter at Philmont Scout Ranch where she works in the backcountry. And at Philmont, they celebrate Christmas in July in a big way. So I'm excited to celebrate with her. And I wanted to bring a treat. And so we're gonna make a treat today. Well, actually, I'm making it ahead of time, but you're watching it today, but you'll get it today. Anyway, Christmas, right? So we are going to feature the last of our suite, Season of Green and Gold suite. And we have the dies from the Greetings of the Season set, and then some dies from the Golden Greenery set. And they're going to come together to make this really fabulous treat that you can adapt for any season, any suite, anytime you like. So with that, let's pull our camera down, and I'll go back and forth a little because I'm gonna show you some die cutting today. But I have two strips here of the Season of Green and Gold paper, and one of the many fabulous dies from the Season of Greetings of the Season dies here. So actually, let me pull all of these in so you can kind of get an idea. I know they're all jumbled, but there are lots and lots of good choices here. This one is the largest, and I am going to use this to make the bulk of our greeting project or treat project here. So what I'm going to do, I have these two pieces of designer series paper, and I have them lined up to fit here. And I am going to sort of break one of my cardinal rules, and I'm going to die cut both at the same time. So we're going to do that. And then let me also talk to you about this designer series paper here. We are going to use the bells out of this paper. So with this, I really like to just pop a piece of washi tape across my die and then line this up here on my designer series paper. And then we're gonna take this over to our die cut machine. And then I have one more set of die cuts, but I'm gonna show you that one in a separate set. So hang in there. Let's take this over to our machine here. And some of you have asked about my mat. I do use a silicone mat underneath my die cut machine. I find it just helps everything to stay in place pretty nicely. It's just actually a silicone placemat from any big box store or online and so forth. So lots of places that you can get that. But we're going to cut through here, and I'm going to bring these back to show you. All right, there we go. So here we have our two pieces. Now, when you cut two together, they tend to get a little bit locked. And so usually if you flex them, you can get them to separate. Now, I wouldn't do this for something that had a bigger hole, but these are really just press points along the edges here. I don't know if you can see it, if the focus, but they do okay. If they were actually trying to punch a hole in each one of those, I probably wouldn't do two at a time because it's just not likely to be super clean. And so then let's go ahead and bring in our bells, and then these are just die cuts, so they're all ready to go. And then sometimes if I have lots of things, I'm going to save the tape on my dies and just use them again later. Now the other pieces on here, you can see that I've kind of got a random assortment of spots open. So I could flip this over and use the back part of this paper in small chunks easily, or I could fussy cut some of these other sprigs and use them, kind of whatever your stuff calls for. All right, we're gonna take our two tags, and these are going to be the base of our gift here, our giftie. And so I need some tear tape. I'll pull this here, and I'm gonna put a piece of tear tape down here at the bottom. Now, I like to give you ways to not struggle with stuff, and so here is a way to not struggle, okay? So I've used my paper trimmer, and I'm not actually gonna cut anything, but what I'm using the lip here. So if I scoot my paper all the way up against, let me get this out of the way, the top, then I know that these two pieces of paper are in line together. Okay, kind of the same way when you cut with your trimmer, you always want the paper at the top or the bottom to be straight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to lift these up and slide them together. And now I know that my 2 tags are perfectly straight and aligned, okay? So much nicer way than trying to just stick them together and have them end up in some weird galliwampus fashion, okay? All right, now this is gonna come together here. We're gonna wrap this around, and I am here to tell you, if you've been wondering, that yes, this very vanilla ribbon is so fabulous that it will go right through the holes. Now watch it not go through at all on these tags. So the tags from this set all have the same size hole, so all of them will fit this ribbon. But honestly, it's a function of the ribbon just being really great quality that it is very soft and pliable and fits through there beautifully. So we're gonna go ahead and tie a bow, and I'm not gonna get too attached to what the front of my project is versus what the back of my project is. You could also, if you hate bow tying, just leave it like that with a half knot and be finished. And I think I need a little bit more end to my ribbon. So you'll also notice that I'm not actually cutting the end off my ribbon until I make my bow. I really like to cut last so that I know that I have exactly the length that I want, especially when you're working with a nice ribbon like this. All right, so we're gonna tie our bow and then take a look. Now, where does it want to be? Does it want to be this direction, or sideways? So it wants to be sideways. Okay, sorry, I'm tying my bow off screen. This is not what I want, okay? I want my bow to be flat. So what I'm gonna do is look back at now I don't remember which side I started on. Okay, I started the other way before. So this way I had my free hand over here and I went around this way. So that is going to give me one bow. If I turn it this way and tie the same style of bow, so use my same regular bow tying, I'm gonna end up with a bow that is like 180 degrees twisted from the one that I got on the other side. And it has to do with which way you cross over your first cross and so forth. But all you need to know is that if you get it wrong the first time, then go back. And do you see how this bow wants to be this direction? It doesn't want to be the perpendicular to my project. And then I just take a look. Since I don't have a front declared yet, I can decide that this side is my prettier side, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and trim our ends. I like to trim a wide ribbon like this. It works best to start at the outer edge of the ribbon and trim to the middle. That way it's not like squishing away from you so much when you're trying to cut. I know sometimes I do it the other way, but this is where I really find I get the better bow end. Okay, so now we have our bow tied, and now we have some decorations to add here. So we've got our 2 pieces here. We're going to use another one of the tags here. I really like the shape of this one to go with our little treat. And then we're gonna make another layer to go behind it, and we're gonna use this one. And I know you're thinking, Meg, that looks dumb, it's too long. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it, okay? All right, so we have this piece here, and now we're going to go ahead and add our accent piece. And to go along with this pretty paper, we have the die cut paper from this version of, this is one of the other Season of Green and Gold sweet papers. And just like they match the vellum, you can also use the dies to cut out the paper pieces, okay? See how that works? So I have one, this is the other sprig that is already cut, and this one is one of the full ones. But be aware that this particular treat project that I'm gonna show you is a great one for using the edge pieces. So when you have edges like this is a little different edge here, but when you have edges, use the die to cut them out also. You might have to move your tape because these edges are precious commodity too, okay? So let's see in my pile here if I have an edge piece. I kind of want, that's fine, I'll show you the other one for later. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use this partial and save this full one for another project. So I have my vanilla oval here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna layer our partial piece here, and then we're going to cover it up with our bells. Do you see how that works? So now you can see that we have a really great solution here to make the most out of our sprig without sacrificing the fact that it's not wasted from the edge of the designer series paper. So I don't know, give me a thumbs up or leave a comment if you like to do this. Also, I hope that you guys are making the most of your paper. Definitely don't discard those edges, okay? And then we're gonna use the bell to creatively cover it up, and then another bell down here, okay? All right, our camera is moving, I think. All right, so there's our tag. Now this is where I said we were going to layer behind, because I want a place to write here to Joey, and we have, of course, the delightful to froms here on our Greetings of the Season set. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna die cut this. And the first die cut I make is going to go ahead and cut out our whole piece here. So come with me and we will do our die cutting. And then I'm gonna show you what we do next. Because the second die cut on the same piece is what is going to give us our secret bonus here, so our custom tag size. So here's our piece. We have this whole thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tag and I'm going to slide it down here so that I'm cutting just the fishtail end of the die to go ahead and complement. So we have basically a shorter version of the same tag, and I highly recommend popping a piece of washi tape on there to just hold everything in place. And then I'll show you what we get here. All right, so here's the die cut shadow from our first piece. This is the whole piece. And then we got this basically. And then with our second cut, we now have this, okay? So you don't even have to cut the whole piece the first time. You could cut just a short version. But this is a great way to layer a tag and have a piece that is really much more in scale with the project you want. So on your dies, I mean, it would even work for this one. So you could basically cut your tag and then you could cut off, cut the short end here and make just a small tag. So remember that these are just a suggestion on the sizes of things. You can custom make your tags to fit whatever you want. And then this is probably something that I'll pop into my container there, and maybe I'll use it for something. All right, so let's go ahead and add our little two. I've got my Mossy Meadow here, and I'm going to then use my Mossy Meadow marker to write a name on there, okay? And then a word about the markers. These are Stampin' Write markers, so these are the ones that are water-based. Be very careful that you're not storing them in a cup or something like this. They have to be stored flat. There's one reservoir in the center, and it feeds both tips. So if you store them this way, you're gonna end up with the ink sinking down to the bottom, and you're gonna end up with a lack of ink supplying the other tip. So make sure you're storing these flat, okay? In a drawer, or like, of course, the Stampin' storage stuff up there is a really great way to do it, with a pad and the marker right next to each other. So, all right. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, Tag Mag, but you did not leave a place to attach it here. That's okay. I've got a plan. Don't worry. So we're going to bring in our handy linen thread, which is such a workhorse of this suite here. It's not included in the suite, but I have included it in the supply list, which is in the video description. And I love linen thread and use it all the time. It matches so many different styles, chic and shabby and rustic and whatever you want, fun. It just is really flexible. Okay, so I've doubled it up and put a knot in the end, and then I'm going to give it a cute little haircut here so that we have our ends trimmed. And then we are going to add this to our project, okay? So I'm going to pop this on like this, and basically I'm just dragging all the ends of my pretty bow through the tag so that it's looped around the front here and kind of stands up there at the top, okay? So like this. All right, now if you're wondering, this is great, this is a cute little thing, but there is no gift in it. It needs to have a giftie. Yes, you're right, we still need the gift. And for that, we are going to add in some chocolate. So my favorite giftie chocolate for stamping projects is Ghirardelli squares. And they can be doubled up for things or tripled up. and they're going to fit beautifully on here like so. And this is going to give me the perfect reason to use red, the red cherry berries. Here we go, cherry cobbler berries. So they're gonna fit on our project here in a second too. But they are narrow, okay? So they fit kind of hidden inside the tag, which is fine. So I'm gonna give you a cool solution to make them stay where you want them, make them look pretty, and all at the same time. So I'm gonna arrange them, okay, here. So I'm kind of dragging them out to the left and right to be exactly where I want them. And then I'm gonna give them a pinch. And now I'm going to cheat and pop a Stampin' dimensional between each layer, okay? And there we go. Now this means that these pieces of candy are gonna stay artistically where I want them for our project, okay? And then I'm actually going to put a dimensional on the front and a dimensional on the back. So we have like this stack of dimensional candies, and slide them in here and down to the bottom so they stay exactly where I got them off center. That's okay. Exactly where I want them, okay? So now we have this cute little gifty with a bow at the top and our fun gold and our extra tag that's the right size and our candy stuck in there. So a really fun bonus gifty project. Oh, I promised the berries. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the red ones since we've got them here, and I'm gonna pop them just up here with our focal point here with our berries and bells, okay? So their focus there is our cute project. So let's look at all 4 of these together. These are the Loven Stamps monthly tutorials for the month of July, because it's Christmas in July, right? Okay, ink making me nervous. We have our clean and simple card, we have our patchwork quilt card, and we have our stair-step overlay, stair-step vellum overlay card. So lots of great ideas of things that you can do with this suite. I love to make sure that when you have something like this, especially a suite with 2 stamp sets and 2 designer series papers, or a designer series paper and a vellum, designer series paper and a vellum. I love that you will have enough ideas of fun things to do with them. And I think that our projects this month give you plenty in the way of fun ideas and things that you can make with your supplies. So, all right. With that, I wish you a very Merry Christmas in July, a happy pre-Friday since it is Thursday today. And then I'll be back next week from New Mexico, looking all, I'm sure, very tan after spending 7 days backpacking. And look forward to seeing you guys and sharing some more projects with you. So happy stamping, happy pre-Friday, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.